Hello, my name is David Holmes. This is my assignment for the Phonology B project for the Oxford TEFL Trinity Diploma. A little bit of background on the class. About 10 students, all about weak pre-intermediate level. I worked on the and or sounds in English. The reason I chose to work on these was because they do not have long vowel sounds in Vietnamese, so students often shorten them. It can cause a little bit of strain to the listener when coupled with other phonological features such as their accent and tendency to put tones on vowels. Vietnamese is a tonal language. In fact, it has 6 tones, and a single change in tone can change the meaning of the word completely. Briefly, the lesson consisted of 5 parts. The main focus was on listening to distinguish between the different phonemes, although I did put in some productive effort in here. The first part, I chose close phone allophones. The and or sounds, they have close allophones in Vietnamese, although they are short vowels, or. Getting them to lengthen them just makes their pronunciation a little bit better. What I first did was put a lot of words on the board, wrote them out and dictated them. Here they are, as you can see: walk, work, pool, pull, very similar, minimal pairs, just changing the and or sounds. I then dictated these words in random order and asked them to write them down, see how they did. Those was followed by pair work speaking. They had definitions, student A and student B sheets with the definition of the word. What does to go by feet mean? Walk, how do you spell that? They sat in pairs back to back or facing each other at a distance. I then did a teacher dictation. The students had a gap, as you will see, a nonsensical statement with a lot of words, which I would dictate to see how they did. One warm day the bird was bored, so it went for a walk. It's nonsensical, but they had to listen for the different sounds and write them in. Finally, once they had the correct answers, I did a student-to-student dictation just so I could work on their problems individually. My main focus while doing this was to really exaggerate the mouth position, so and or became or. I use a lot of gestures to do this. In my experience, in spite of the language that's dominated by vowels and tones, Vietnamese learners don't move their mouths enough, so to really focus on the with the mouth positions work. Students' reaction, as I expected, long vowels took some drilling. Work, walk, get, and it's not clear enough, in my opinion, so I had to keep drilling to extend them. My evaluation of the lesson, what surprised me was that while Vietnamese has close allophones to both phonemes, the students struggled with the or. So work and walk sounded both like work. I walk to work sounded like I work to work. The or sound will need a lot more practice. I didn't anticipate this at the start. Pronunciation is a long struggle here. Students have learned English for up to 7 years at school, yet often have nothing to show for it, except some fossilised mistakes. There are exceptions, of course, and things are improving, but generally for most students their biggest problem is pronunciation. It needs continuous drilling. I think the students got better at hearing the difference between the sounds, as some of them couldn't initially distinguish them, but it took a little bit of work and they got better. I think it will take a little bit of work on some of them, preferably in a smaller class, but overall it was an improvement. Thank you. This is the end of my summary.